the Giants lead 3-0. Home run number 2.
Now, back to Willard and Dibs on 95.7 The Game.
You're not going to believe this, but the Giants hit 72 home runs today.
I had him at 68. I think you may have to check your math.
Really? It just seemed like it anyway. That was Michael Conforto's home run, the highlight, courtesy of NBC Sports Bay Area. This is Willard and Dibs. Whitey in for Willard. Before we get to our guest, Dibs, I hate to sound like the get off my lawn, but when are the Giants going to play a National League team? Huh? Come on.
The answer is never, Whitey.
Oh, well.
Never. There is no more National League and American League, at least in my Major League Baseball.
All right.
Oh, it's a balanced schedule. Let's just do away with the leagues.
16-6 today, the Giants over the Pale Hose, the Shy Sacks. And, of course, they got opening day tomorrow against, of course, the traditional opening day opponent, the Royals.
Yeah.
Nice enough to join us with more on all this. Giants pre- and post-game host, NBC Sports Bay Area, Laura Britt. Laura, welcome to the show. How do you explain this home run barrage that we're witnessing right now from these Giants?
Well, thank you for having me, and you're both wrong. They hit 63 home runs today.
Darn it.
The
That's why we bring in the pros, Laura.
It's hard to explain because they've been hot, cold, feast, or famine this season. You either score 16 runs if you're the Giants or you score 0. And they're strikeout heavy. But when you go back to spring training, that's what the team was expecting from this lineup, was to be a home run heavy hitter lineup and maybe get 20 home runs. But from multiple players in the lineup, it's not like you have the one player that's going to get you 30 or 40.
I mean, it seemed like half of them had 30 or 40 today. And Blake Sable gets his first. Is this just another step toward maybe the eradication of the future of Joey Bart?
Ooh,
wow. We're going there right now?
Man,
but it just feels more and more as time goes on, and Joey's hurt, and various other players are playing the position.
I'm with Laura. I thought that was kind of uncalled for.
Too heavy-handed?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, Joey Bart, is he ticketed for Sacramento?
He hit a home run today, but this throughout the start of the season hasn't been great. So he's got to do more than just hit one home run to be able to earn that spot. Roberto Perez has been really good behind the dish for the Giants, too. I know that Logan Webb's been comfortable with him catching. That was a big focus of spring training, was the battle at the position behind the plate. So that's still going on. I think you're going to have to wait and see how Joey Bart feels. Looks like when he comes back, because we saw a tale of 2 Joey Barts last season, and that was just in one season. So we've got to wait and see what he's going to bring this season, and a little bit of give him a little bit of time when he gets back, and then I think you can start coming to conclusions. But we're 6 games into the season.
Laura Britt, nice enough to join us after the Giants' 16-6 win over the White Sox tomorrow. They've got the home opener tomorrow. And to your point, Laura, we've just started, so it's too early to draw any conclusions. But, hey, it's what we do. So to this point, how do the Giants feel about the starting pitching, something that they are very excited about for this season?
I think a big part of the Giants starting pitching was how is Anthony DeSclafani going to come back from his ankle surgery that he had last year? And in his first showing, he was really good. So I think that's a positive. They added depth to their rotation this offseason, and that was a big focus for them, the starting rotation and then also the outfield. And we saw them add pieces in both of those places. So I think they're feeling pretty good about the rotation right now. Logan Webb hasn't had the best start to the season, but I'm not worried about him at all. I don't think Giants fans are worried about him at all right now. It's too early to make any conclusions about that. But I think that he's going to be fine. He'll settle in. And the good showing from Tony D, as my analysts like to call him, I think is positive for the Giants starting rotation.
Tony D makes him sound like your buddy, or maybe a guy who sits behind you in math class.
All the analysts call him that. I call him Anthony DeSclafani, but they're always like, yeah, Tony D. Okay.
I'm thinking, we're big fans of Dante DiVincenzo and the restaurant quality from the Warriors. So I think Tony D might be the new nickname. Like Tony D's like your local butcher or the guy behind the deli counter. I think I'm loving Tony D. Laura, I'm a little concerned about Brandon C. And he's got the knee. Now he's got the forearm. Is he going to be able to make it through the year? I hate to be a negative Nelly all the time.
My goodness, you want to send Joey Bart to Sacramento and you're worried about Brandon?
I'm concerned, guys. Brandon C.
don't be concerned yet. This is a long season. Do I need to explain this to you?
Walk me through it, Laura.
Season. He's been playing a long time. He's okay. He's gonna be fine. He's not supposed to play every day, which I get that this wasn't just a day of rest for him. He had the forearm stiffness in one of his at-bats from yesterday, but it's going to be okay. What's funny is after the second game of the season when the Giants got shut out, no, it was the third game, then they score all the runs against the Yankees, then they got shut out again, everyone was freaking out. Alarms were going off everywhere, and it was 3 games into the season. This is a marathon. It's a marathon. You guys know that.
Yeah, Laura, I'm like 93 years old. That's why I rant rave about when are they going to play a National League team? All that said, I've been resisting for years the pitch clock and some of the new rules. I got to say, I think it's working. What do you and your analysts think so far of the speeded up pace of game we have now with the pitch clock?
It's amazing. I love it. Do you like the balanced schedule?
Hate it.
Or no?
I hate it.
You don't.
Yeah.
I like the idea of seeing like the best of the best every 2 years in your park, but I'm already missing the 19 games against the Dodgers and 19 against the plucky Padres.
I actually don't mind it. I kind of like it. I like getting a look at all the teams around the majors, but the pitch clock is amazing. If you say it's not, you're wrong. There's only one right answer, and it's that the pitch clock is a win.
I heard you before talking, I don't know if it was on TV or another radio show, about being a fan at the game. And that, to me, Laura, is the ultimate way to measure this, because when I go up to get my garlic fries or my veggie dog behind section 121, as I want to do,
$9 beer.
If I miss 3 innings because of this damn sped up game, I'm going to feel differently about it.
Now, that is true, and I have major concerns about that. So my suggestion is plan ahead, know your route to your food spot, and get your dessert and your beverage while you get your entree, and you can only take one trip, because I got to tell you, we take walks during the game. We'll walk over to grab food. While we're watching the game, we'll take a pause, walk over to grab food, and then come back. We can't do that anymore. You miss 3 innings of the game.
Yeah.
You can watch on your phone, but you've got a lot of catching up to do when you get back to the studio if you walk a block away to grab food. So that's the negative part of it. But I think all around, kids, a lot of kids go to the ballpark. I've got 3 kids. Kids don't last long at games anyway, so all the parents are saying yay, because the kids only last 6 innings anyway, and now with the sped-up game, it's probably about the time that it would have been without the pitch clock.
Yeah, especially this year, Dibs and Laura, because hey, I just went and got a couple of hot dogs. Did I miss anything? Yes, the Giants hit 9 home runs.
Missed everything.
Yeah. Big picture, is this team, in your opinion, poised to maybe sneak up on the West? We all know it was a tough offseason in a lot of ways for Giants fans. Is this team in position to maybe surprise? And if you think so, why do you think so?
I think it's a good showing to start the season off. It's so early. It's really hard to jump to any kind of... I'm a reasonable person. It's hard to jump to serious conclusions 6 games into the season. But with what we've seen over the 6 games, I think it's very possible that they could make a run in the NL West. You've got the Dodgers and the Padres, sure, and you've got a young, dangerous Diamondbacks team, but I don't think that there's any reason to count the Giants out like a lot of people were doing. And to go back to the offseason, a lot was made, obviously the Aaron Judge situation with him going back to the Yankees. It sounds like that was a predetermined thing for him. The Giants did everything they could to get him. With Carlos Correa, it was weird the day that it happened, and everyone was freaking out, and I understand why, because it left a lot of question marks. But then when you started to see how that panned out, they made the right decision. Maybe 5 years down the road we'll be able to decide for sure whether or not they made the right decision. But when another team has the same issues, I just think that people need to be a little bit more rational about the fact that you don't want your team just to go spend money to spend money. You want them to spend money wisely. And the Giants were willing to spend money this offseason, but it just didn't pan out the way that they wanted it to. And I think that that's something that Giants fans have been wanting for a while. Is they want the star player, and I get that. But you also want them to spend the money on a good star player, the right star player.
Right, and I was very critical of Farhan, and I've promised to apologize to him in 2028 after things sort out with Carlos Correa. If Correa turns out to not be durable, I'll be the first in 5 years to come crawling back on hands and knees to Farhan and apologizing. But, Laura, will he be here? And how big? And I'm not trying to run him out like Joey Bart and Brandon Crawford. I'm just wondering.
You're trying to clean house?
You are trying to clear house.
They went 16-6, and you want to get rid of everybody.
I'm done with it, Laura. Today was an aberration. Seriously, though, how big is this year in terms of the farm system development and the big league club? How important is this to Farhan's future?
I think it's important, but the team is bought in on Farhan. They like him. I think they like how he manages his money. I think they like he, develops players. They haven't landed that big player yet, and I think that's the problem. That's what everybody wants. They want the big player, and they're saying, hey, is he not going to do that? Will he not spend the money? Because Farhan's a guy that likes a value player. But they have been able to go out, and last season we saw get a Carlos Rodon and get value out of them. It's tough for Giants fans to see Rodon walk, or a player that they bring in has a great season, which they've got a couple of guys signed to 1 year deal or 2 year deals, but with an option after the first year. And so you want to see guys succeed, but then it's bittersweet because then you see them walk. And that's the problem that Giants fans have with Farhan. I don't think it's an inside organization issue. I think the organization likes Farhan a lot. But I will tell you, I'm really glad that you're not my boss, because if you clear house like this all the time, I'd be out.
Britt, you were a little loose in the A block. Pack your things.
Laura, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Continued success on NBC Sports Bay Area, and we'll be looking for you on opening day.
Thank you. And next time, we've got to get me and Kareth on closer together, because with our schedules, the radio is the only time we get the chance to catch up.
All right, we'll do what we can.
Done.
Yeah. That's a done deal.
Maybe we could get the Dodger games closer together, because they won't play each other here in San Francisco for 5.5 months, Laura. There's your balanced schedule.
All right, old man. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
My hearing aid must have cut out.